Hi YouTube, long time no see, but I am back on YouTube, and on this video we're going to be talking about why I broke up with TikToxic in the case that I personally believe is the reason behind it. First things first, why did I break up with TikTok? Well, it is no secret that I refer to TikTok as TikToxic, as I think it is a more fitting name for that platform. However, I have been on TikTok for almost 2 years and have 76,000 followers on that app. Now, 2 days ago, I woke up to see that I had been banned off of TikTok for too many community guidelines violations, which I find to be hella ironic considering I didn't have any community guidelines violations on TikTok, and I don't know how you can have too many of something that you didn't have any of. Now, recently on TikTok, I started discussing the Barry Walker, Jana Bradford situation, which we will get into here in a minute. And in my personal opinion, my TikTok was banned because I think someone retaliated against me for my coverage of that case. Now, I have no proof of that. That's just my personal opinion. I think someone either mass reported the videos or sent into TikTok. I don't know. Long story short, I have obviously sent into TikTok legal, and I am appealing this ban as I think it is entirely unjustified and unfounded, and I think it sends the wrong message to people that you can get someone banned and all of their hard work and efforts taken off of a platform when they've done absolutely nothing wrong because somebody wants to retaliate against the coverage of a case that they're covering. That's my personal opinion. You take that however you want to take it. Obviously, I have appealed my TikTok ban. I have sent into TikTok legal, and I believe if they review it, they will find that I have been banned unjustly. However, even if they give me my TikTok back, I'm only going to use it to hustle people to YouTube because frankly, that was the last fucking straw with me and TikToxic. Ridiculous. It's fucking ridiculous. And to be completely honest with y'all, am I sad about losing 76,000 followers? Yes. And the work that I've made and put onto that platform for the past almost 2 years? Absolutely. However, I feel like I kind of just got out of a toxic relationship because frankly, I'm not upset that I no longer have to worry about TikTok. I can focus my efforts on platforms where I think I will be better valued and less censored. And so, you know, I've been focusing on TikTok to the detriment of other social media platforms that I have and even the podcast. And so, frankly, I'm not that upset about it. And I have a huge following across all different kinds of platforms, and all this did was push me to those platforms and get me away from TikToxic, which frankly is a relief. Okay, so now y'all know that I'm appealing the TikTok ban on moral and ethic grounds because literally, what the fuck? But I'm thrilled to be back on YouTube, and so let's get into the case that I personally believe is the reason I got banned off of TikTok, and let's see what YouTube has to say about it. You guys are going to shit a brick. Let's get into it. We are going to be discussing the newly elected prosecuting attorney for the 9th West Judicial District in Arkansas, Jana Bradford, and her pedophile uncle, Barry Walker. Now, spoiler alert, Barry Walker got the 7th longest sentence in United States history and the 9th longest sentence in the world. This man got more time than Jeffrey fucking Dahmer. So obviously this story is going to be absolutely ridiculous. In 1999, Barry Walker, who at the time was a practicing physician in Fort Smith, Arkansas, was arrested for sexually assaulting an 8-year-old girl multiple times. Now, he pled no contest to this, though he did admit to what he had done. And despite all of that, he only got 1 year in prison.
Well, looky here. My ex just texted me and wants to know if I'm still up. Justice.
As I was saying, the newly elected prosecuting attorney for the 9th West Judicial District in Arkansas, Jana Bradford, got a registered sex offender fresh out of prison for sexually assaulting a minor female, custody of a minor female. Make it make sense. You literally cannot. You can't. She even put on the legal documents that he was a fit and proper person to have custody of this minor female. Now, there are laws in Arkansas that prevent a registered sex offender from obtaining custody of a minor or even having unsupervised visitation with a minor. No shit. Imagine that. The only exception to that is if a judge were to deem the sex offender as a non-safety risk. Now, in my opinion, there is absolutely no way that any judge is going to deem a sex offender fresh out of prison for sexually assaulting a minor female a non-safety risk and someone that should have custody of a minor female, which begs the question of whether or not honest lawyer Jana Bradford,
I can tell you I am an honest lawyer to the absolute core,
disclosed the true full picture of Barry Walker when she fought to get him custody of a minor female. Then, in 2004, Barry Walker was under investigation for sexually assaulting a 4-year-old, and that 4-year-old happens to be the minor female that Jana Bradford got him custody of. That same year, Jana Bradford asked then Governor of Arkansas Mike Huckabee to pardon her pedo Uncle Barry. She herself prepared his clemency paperwork where Barry admits that he sexually assaulted the 8-year-old minor female, which he served a year in prison for. What's missing from the clemency application is that just earlier that same year, Barry had been under investigation for allegedly, supposedly sexually assaulting his own daughter, the same daughter that Jana Bradford got him custody of. Not only did Jana Bradford secure a victim for Barry Walker, but in my opinion, she secured him access to endless victims because according to the court documents, the daughter that she secured him custody of had friends come spend the night, and those friends were then drugged and sexually assaulted, and then Barry Walker had the audacity to document the sexual assaults, and this went on for years and years and years. In 2006, Barry Walker was under investigation again for having allegedly sexually assaulted another minor female. And then again, in 2010, he was under investigation for having allegedly, supposedly sexually assaulted another minor female. And then again, in 2014, Barry Walker was once again being investigated for having allegedly, supposedly sexually assaulted another minor female, not once, but twice. And one of those times he was actually arrested, but never charged. In one of the 2014 investigations, a police report states that Jana was in attendance for an interview as legal counsel for Lori Cogburn, who was Barry Walker's on and off again girlfriend from 1992 to 2022, according to legal docs. And allegedly, supposedly, according to the civil suit, they allege that Jana Bradford also was representing Barry Walker for one of those investigations, if not both, in 2014. And while we're on the topic of the 2014 investigations, let's talk about the letter that Jana Bradford wrote the prosecutor on one of the 2014 investigations, and I quote, "Dear Blake, I have taken the liberty of having Mr. Walker voluntarily submit to a polygraph examination pertaining to the allegations against him by redacted regarding redacted. As we discussed previously, these allegations stem from persons who surreptitiously obtained custody of the minor child. The child was taken from her grandparents who had been her sole caregivers and means of stability for her entire life. The order was obtained from Judge Williams in Garland County under false pretenses. Specifically, the joint petition that was filed failed to mention that the mother of the child was incarcerated, that the child actually resided with her grandparents, and most importantly, that redacted was not the biological father of the child. I am challenging the actions taken in Garland County vigorously. I have filed motions to intervene and a separate guardianship. I have alleged that the parties have committed fraud upon the court in obtaining the agreed order. I can provide you with any pleadings from this file for your review if you desire to look through them. Based on what little has been reported to me, the allegations against Mr. Walker did not take place until almost a month after the child was stripped from her grandparents. This child was taken on May 6th, and it does not appear that there was any report until May 28th. It is obvious that the redacted had sufficient time to influence the child to say what they wanted her to say. The truth is that Mr. Walker has never been alone with redacted name of victim. In fact, he has only been around her about 5 times. They knew of redacted's tendencies to use, manipulate, and make false allegations. This is not the first time that she has been involved in making false allegations. In fact, she has made similar allegations against a person with whom she sometimes resided. She has lost her first 2 children. This child, redacted, was in the care of her parents since they received her at 2 days old from the Mississippi Penitentiary. There has been another child born since, redacted, that she sold to a family in New York. I would hope that you would seriously consider what I am providing you herein in making your determination not to file charges. I have consulted with Travis, and he will be representing Mr. Walker if you do decide to file. If so, would you please let me know in advance, and Mr. Walker will turn himself into Clark County Sheriff's Department. Thank you for your kind consideration in this regard. I will look forward to hearing back from you soon. Sincerely, Jana fucking Bradford. The wild thing about that is that in the letter she states, the truth is that Mr. Walker has never been alone with redacted name of victim. In fact, he has only ever been around her about 5 times. The crazy part is that there is currently a civil suit going on, and the civil suit alleges that while Barry Walker was in jail, because remember, he did get arrested for one of the 2014 allegations, he just didn't get charges for it. The civil suit alleges that while Barry Walker was in jail, Jana Bradford and her mom, Joyce Purser, were passing out payroll checks for All Pro, which was Barry Walker's construction company. And while they were doing that, the civil suit alleges that they did in fact find out that Barry Walker had in fact been alone with the 4-year-old that was making the claims against him. And yet here's this letter that she wrote to the prosecutor stating that the truth is that Mr. Walker has never been alone with redacted name of victim. You take that however you want to, you believe whatever you want to believe. I'm just telling you what she wrote and what the civil suit is alleging.
I can tell you I am an honest lawyer to the absolute core.
4 years later, in 2018, Jana Bradford then requests that her pedo Uncle Barry be removed from the sex offender registry, and she wrote, "Dear Mr. Shue, please be advised that I am a deputy prosecuting attorney for Pike County, which is in the 9th West Judicial District. I have a relative who was convicted of a sex offense back in 2000. He had not been charged with any other felony crime since the date of this conviction. Due to the fact that it has been more than 15 years since he was required to be placed on the registry, I have filed the attached petition to be removed from the sex offender registry. I am writing this letter to see what your office may require prior to requesting a setting on this matter. I would certainly ask that you take a look at this at your very earliest convenience and let me know what you would need. Thank you in advance for your kind consideration. I look forward to hearing back from you in this regard. Sincerely, Jana Bradford." Don't you just love how she starts the letter out with, "I am a deputy prosecuting attorney"? Miss ma'am, you did not write this letter in the capacity of a deputy prosecuting attorney, and you had no business peacocking that at the opening of this letter. You wrote this letter as the relative of a pedophile who you did not think the public needed to know was a pedophile. So you wanted them removed from the sex offender registry. What you should have put on there instead of, "I'm a deputy prosecuting attorney," was that there were 5 investigations on him between when he got out in 2001 and when you wrote this letter in 2018. What the fuck? Or better yet, you just don't write the letter at all. You know, like you just don't. Fast forward to 2022, and I am quoting directly from the civil suit that is currently going on where Jana Bradford is named as a defendant. In April of 2022, Brandy Cox, that would be Barry Walker's niece, Jana's cousin, learned that Barry Walker had once again been messing with redacted name of 2 minors in sexually inappropriate ways. Brandy and her father, Ricky Cox, first told Bryce Walker, that is Barry's brother, Jana's other uncle, what Barry was doing with redacted name of minors. After talking with Bryce, Brandy and Ricky drove to Joyce Purser's house, that would be Jana's mother, Barry and Bryce's sister, and told Joyce that Barry Walker was messing with redacted name of minors in sexually inappropriate ways. Both Bryce and Joyce told Brandy and Ricky that they could not report Barry before Jana Bradford's election date. Jana Bradford was on the ballot for prosecuting attorney for the 9th West Judicial District in Arkansas. Despite being told what Barry Walker was doing to their prepubescent family members and others, neither Bryce Walker nor Joyce Purser reported Barry Walker to law enforcement because of the political ramifications that reporting Barry would have on Jana Bradford. Don't y'all worry, the safety and well-being of minors was sacrificed to make sure that Jana Bradford was elected the 9th West Judicial District's prosecuting attorney, allegedly, supposedly, in my opinion. And of course, only after Jana Bradford was in fact elected the prosecutor of the 9th West Judicial District in Arkansas was Barry Walker finally turned in. And now shit has hit the absolute motherfucking fan, and we're going to be discussing it. Let me know what you think about all of this fuckery in the comment section, and I literally cannot wait to hear what y'all have to say about this. Let me know what you think about all of this in the comment section, and we're going to continue covering this situation. Make sure to subscribe to this channel, and I will see you guys on the next video.